Right, we're live. We're
Hey,
live. Right, guys. Wow, got fucking 4 viewers already. Hi, guys. I'm just Callum, also known as Undead Nerd, also known as the Vaping Beersman. Change my name frequently. Don't ask why.
Beardsman.
I'm here today with Ali. Ali is studying sound production at the moment.
Yeah.
He's a great musician. He's looking at starting up YouTube as well. Um, so Ali, just give us a little bit about yourself, mate. Like, what you up to? How are you doing? What's your interests?
Well, like you said, I'm at college doing sound production at the moment. It's not going so great, but I'll get to that later on. I'm currently in a metal band for any metal fans that are watching. We're called Ignite the Sky. We're on the merchandise here. You know, you can buy this for 10 quid if you want. Um, yeah, I mean, life's going okay with me. Still live with my parents, so that's kind of a big.
Aye, but you've got your own studio there, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've got my own personal workspace, so I can get away from anybody if I want to. But the problem is, I need to install a lock on the door. So, but I've got my own little room where I can chill out, and it's great, and I can do stuff like this and talk to my
Oh,
pals. So it's good.
awesome, man. So, like, as it's captioned already, this episode is joys of being in your 20s. Because me and Ali are basically just going to ramble on and have a chat and talk about the good, the bad, the ugly of being in your 20s, the ups, the mind fucks, everything that goes with it. Just to let you guys know that I've been absent for a while. You'll probably notice what you'll probably find out why is me and Ali digress in this video, but we're gonna try and make a comeback. Which hopefully this will be a weekly or monthly thing that me and Ali do, depending on how many of you guys actually like it. Because we might not get that many live views because it's so instant, but it depends on how many views we get as the video sits on YouTube. So yeah, I've been not doing YouTube for a while purely because my last employer didn't like it. Basically, wouldn't allow me to do it. I've left that job. I'm now I'm now doing a course at college to sort of become a social marketing technician. I'm also in the making of launching my own sort of media company as well. That's still very low key. I like to see myself a student, like Ali. Ali's a student. So yeah, so this is going to be the good, the bad, and the just plain shit bit of being in your 20s. So like, what I found recently, Ali, is that before, like, see when you were younger, man, you were like in your 16 to 18 range.
Yeah,
You get away with shit.
yeah,
Like, see now, you don't get away with feck all. It's like,
yeah. Well, I mean, it's true what they say. I mean, like when you're that young, you hate school and you hate socializing with dickheads and pricks and arseholes. And looking back in it, I wish I could go back and do it all again because life was
oh,
just so much easier back then.
so much easier, man. It's like now you've got fucking. I mean, although you live with your parents still, you did have your own bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So like, you understand the pain when I say rent, bills, just even try to live
yeah. And I
is.
mean, the other thing about that is like, you live with your partner, which
Yep.
is great. And I mean, obviously, to everybody else, it looks great and it's great. And like, no offense to you and Sarah, but I mean, nobody knows what goes on behind closed doors. I mean, like, I lived with my ex beforehand, and it was awful.
Mm.
You think to yourself like, "Oh, this is going to be great," and I'm going to be living on my own. I'll have my own space. I'll have my own time. I'll have money to do stuff, and I'll be with the person that I love and the person that I'm friends with, my best friend, and then it just turns to shit
Yeah.
because you argue and everybody fights. And I mean, like, so I did that. I lived with my partner, and then I
Yeah.
went and lived with one of my best friends. That's worse because you're that friendly with each other, and then you get confined into a space, right? One of you is so filthy and dirty, and one of you likes being clean, and then the roles get switched halfway through, and then you get sick of each other and you're fighting, and it's not the best thing because you'll end up losing your friend.
Well,
But
that's
I'm
it.
not saying like it's all bad. I've just had 2 bad experiences myself, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely say when I first left home and I got my first flat, I was literally doing a 2-in-1, man. I was sharing with who I did at the time say was one of my good friends, and also my fiance as well. And I had the whole part of like the friend didn't get on with the fiance,
Yeah,
and then the friend started to be a dick.
yeah,
But then the fiance was like, just kick him out. But you can't just kick him out because you're in a joint lease with each other.
yep, yep.
And it was just this complete battleground the whole time. And then we ended up losing money. So shit happened. But I'm not gonna go into that. But now, like, what I've noticed is me and Sarah have got this balance
Mm-hmm.
where we know where the line is.
Mm.
So like we don't like to cross that line because it does 9 times out of 10 end up in arguments and fallouts and stuff like that. But I think I'm really lucky because me and Sarah have that sort of connection.
Yeah.
Like you know yourself. Like when I was younger, I was a bit of an arsehole. You know what I mean? Like
That's a bit of a statement, but we'll leave that out.
jumping from pillar to post and that kind of stuff. But now, like I found myself kind of settled, and it's nice. Like, but it's the whole money aspect. You know what I mean?
Money's a big factor,
It's
especially when nowadays work is you can't choose your job.
mm,
You know, it's like you really can't be picky about what you want to do, even though that's exactly what I do. You
I'm
know,
so
I'll look at a job and I'll be like, no, I don't want to do that. But at the end of the day, you're going to need to do it.
in hindsight, yeah. Because that's the thing, though. It's like I left college, went straight into designing, worked in design for a few years, left that, worked in a vape shop, passionate about vaping, that the next thing, and then boom, you lose the passion, you lose the will to live
Yeah,
when it's. I mean, I'm not saying any bad things about the store. I'm saying it's the position you're in. You've got nobody to talk to.
yeah.
The days are long and slow. So like that in itself is a mind fuck. But
Mm,
then you leave and then you've got that whole thing of shit, I've got no income, I'm not working anymore.
yeah.
You know what I mean? When really in your twenties, you shouldn't be thinking about that till you're like in your thirties and forties and shit. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, like the other thing that I found, like you're saying, like you've got nobody to talk to. I mean, I totally get that. I mean, like when you're at school, when you're younger, you know, you're with your friends every day and you have a laugh in that. But then when you leave school, you finally realise how many people will actually stay in contact with you. I,
Exactly.
I can count on maybe one hand how many people I still talk to on a regular basis. You
Mhm.
being one of them, but you left like 2 years before I left school. You went away to do your own thing in your own life, which was good.
Yeah.
And
Um, we appear to have Danny. Danny's joined the chat. Hi, Danny. Um, I don't know. Wait a minute, dude. I don't know why Danny's in the chat. Goodbye, Danny. Sorry, guys. Danny just appeared in the chat from nowhere
bye, Danny.
there. But like going back to what you were just saying there about like having friends and speaking to people at school and that.
Yeah.
Like like you just said, I left Stranraer a few years ago to come and live in Dumfries. Well, I was at college today, right? It started last week. I passed the guy that went to Stranraer Academy. I passed the guy last week, and I went, shit, I know that guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then the day I seen a full fucking squad of them, like a full team of people from Stranraer. And the thing is, you would think I was a three-headed monkey at a
Yeah.
zoo when they walked by me.
Yeah.
One of them went, and then all of them just turned round. I was like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's one of these things. It's like life changes, people change. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, like you're saying, meeting people from Stranraer at college. I mean, I travel every day to go to college. I travel 60 miles, which is a good hour for me in the car. So I get up at 6 in the morning. So I'm not very happy during the day because I'm tired and I want to go to bed and I can't be dealing with shit that people are spewing at me. And I think the one thing that bothered me was like when I was at school, I used to smoke a lot. I mean, I used to chain smoke all the way from age 15 all
Yeah.
the way through to about August last year, where I stopped smoking.
Yeah.
And you know, the people that ridiculed me at school, you know, saying like, you stink of smoke and you do it because you're hard on that. And I'm like, no, I did it because I was addicted, and like it did to an extent calm me down.
Yeah.
But I wasn't one of these guys that took like rolled a cigarette in the middle of class and then went out to the front of the school and did it in front of everybody. No, I went away for like, you know, like to be, what's the word I'm looking for? Civil with people, because like I don't like blowing smoke in people's face.
Well, that's it. It's...
You know, and but those same people that ridiculed me, I see them outside the college with Super Kings hanging out of their mouth, and they still look down their nose to me, and I'm like, why? You know, you're not any better than me. Nobody's better than anybody. You know,
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
it's just ridiculous. You know, and like it's weird. Like you said, people change,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't consider that I've changed that much. You know,
Nah, me neither, to be honest. Like, people change all the time. It's inevitable. That's life. You know
yeah,
what I mean? People are going to change. But I don't think people change to the extent where they're actually benefiting, if you know what I mean.
yeah,
Like, I mean, life revolves. Everybody changes at one point in their life, yeah. But like, I don't think me and you have changed to the extent where we're completely different personas to what we were a few years back.
no, definitely not.
You know what I mean? But it's just, I find it. I mean, people that are watching this, I mean, this video is going to be available for anybody in the world to see. Yeah, but I
Yeah,
think
which
I
means I'm
think
going to wait in the ridicule of my friends for this video.
but I think a big thing is that we live in a rural county, and I think it's going to be hard to sort of bypass the shit. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
I mean, the thing about it is, you live in Dumfries, right? And you know, people that come from Dumfries will go, Dumfries is shit. You know, Dumfries is horrible. But when you live in Stranraer, that's a whole different story. Trust me, right? Stranraer has a population of about 10,000 people. You know every single one of them. You know, you can't do it. You can't shit without somebody knowing about it.
I know.
The
That's
worst part, like, I mean, example, right? Example. Don't ask me how. Like, you'll say this story's utter bullshit, but it's true, right? I was in the car with my mate Carrick one day, right? The drummer in my band, right?
Mhm.
And we were talking, and we were going to go to Manchester the next day in the car at
Yeah.
9 o'clock in the morning. And by the time we got back, it would have been about 9 o'clock from Manchester. So that night, I went into the house to pick something up. Carrick was still in the car, and I went into the kitchen. Now, Carrick must have texted somebody or
Yeah.
said something to somebody while he was in the car, because my mum came through the kitchen and said, "Why the fuck are you going to Manchester tomorrow?" And I'm like, I only found out about 10 minutes ago I was going to Manchester. So how the hell?
Wow.
She must have found out from somebody. Carrick must have said something to like his mum, or maybe he didn't. Maybe my mum's just a mind reader, or she's got my car bugged or something. But my mum seems to know what I'm going to do before I even do it.
It's scary though, isn't it?
Yeah, but I mean, Stranraer is that small of a community, a dying community, that the only thing in this town that sustains it is people talking shit about everybody else.
It is, because I mean, I remember when I lived there, the shit went viral. Like,
Oh yeah,
it doesn't matter what you did, it didn't matter who you spoke to or whatever, your shit went viral.
oh
And
yeah,
I think that's one of the things that sort of gave me the urge to like stay away from that place, because there's so much negativity and there's so much bad news about the bit. It's just unbearable.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And I don't like talking shit about my hometown, because it is my hometown. I lived there for like basically the most of my life.
yeah.
But it's a shithole.
It is. Well, I mean, you drive down Stranraer Main Street at the moment, right? And basically every second shop is closed down, and it looks horrible because they've not put anything up in the windows to make it look nice. It's just derelict shops. Basically, in Stranraer, if you're good at running a bar, cutting hair, or making fast food,
No
you'll
chance.
be okay. Anything else, no. We don't have anything. We don't have like a Burger King or a KFC. We've got a Subway. We've got a Subway, and I wouldn't even get a sandwich made by the people that work in it.
Mm.
And that's no being disrespectful, but I mean, you know, it seems to be that they give all the decent jobs in Stranraer to people that you wouldn't give a job to.
Yeah. I mean,
Because the job centre in Stranraer tries to get rid of the people who are like basically sponging off the system.
yeah, and I think that brings me to a point now I talk to you about, because I was talking to a guy today, and he wasn't in the same course as me, but he was in a course at the college, and we got chatting, and I said to him, "How come you're here?" And he was like, "Oh, basically, the job centre told me to come here." I was like, "Right, fair play." And he pulled out his phone, and he had an immaculate brand new phone. He had a new pair of kicks on. He had wearing nice clothes and stuff, right? Which I'm not preaching, yeah.
Yeah.
Then he turned to me and says, "Oh, I make about 250 quid a week." I was like, "What?" He says, "Aye, I've got another job, but I got the job centre in Claymore-Flem. That's why I'm here to get the money and stuff." And I'm like, "What?"
So he was basically breaking the law by working and not declaring it.
Exactly, but it's just the audacity that he comes out with that shit.
Yeah, that he tells a complete stranger.
Exactly. But I want to kind of change the topic a bit.
Yeah.
I want you to tell us about your band and about your music. So we've got a good few viewers right now. So if you want to sort of plug your band,
How many viewers do we have?
we've got 18.
18. Oh, that's okay. That's not so bad. Plug my band. Well, we play. I'm trying to describe the genre. It's kind of like metalcore. There is screaming, but there is a lot of clean vocals in it too. Really good instrumentation work. I play bass myself. I play the unimportant instrument. No one cares about the bassist, but we're just 5 guys from Stranraer, and basically we formed from 3 different bands. All the 3 bands were cover bands. You had one which was called Catch 22, which was myself and the 2 guitarists.
Yeah.
And then you had a band called Nemesis, which my vocalist was in.
Yeah.
And then you had another band called Azariah, which my drummer was in.
Okay.
And basically what happened was Catch 22 split up, which was my band, and the 2 guitarists were in it too. We split up because unfortunately my ex was in the band.
Right.
And that didn't work. We were in the band before we went out, and then we went out while being in the band, and then we split up while being in the band. So it just accumulated to being, it was going to end badly if I didn't end it. And I left myself, but then my 2 friends left with me. So then what happened was we found this really good drummer that was in another band. We asked him if he wanted to join, and he said yeah. So originally I was the vocalist and the bass player, and I realised I couldn't do both at the same time very well. So we got in my friend Thomas.
Yeah.
He was the drummer in another band. But we found out through funny coincidence at school, because we had to do a course called MPA where we had to make like a band with all the people in the band.
Yeah. What's what?
I can hear something that's like wind.
Oh, it's windy here, mate.
Ah, right, okay. Sorry, where was it? Yeah, so we got Thomas in because we found that That's music.
It's your music.
Oh, right. Okay. What song's that?
Blood of the Innocent.
No, that's not us. That's not us.
Is it not?
No, that's not us. That's another band with the same name, which is a point I will get to later on.
Right, okay.
Yeah, no, that's not us. That's definitely not us. Because they talk about really gory stuff, which isn't good, which isn't cool.
Oh, wait a minute. We've got official Ignite the Sky, and you're in the picture, so that must be you.
Yeah, that'll be me. Yeah, that's tough. Obviously, the quality through here will not do it any justice, but
Yeah.
yeah. So when we got together, basically, we started off as a cover band,
Yeah.
and we got to like our second gig, and we found out there was a battle of the bands in Stranraer.
Right.
And, well, let's go, and we'll enter it and see what happens. And one of the rules for the competition was you had to have an original song.
Right. Okay.
One original song, and we went, oh damn it, we haven't got any original music. So then we just turned around and said, why don't we write one? And we wrote one within maybe like 2 to 3 weeks. And
Really?
yeah, and that was our first ever song, and it became one of our favorite songs to play, and it's like a fan favorite. Like they know all the words to the chorus, which is it's amazing when you're like, I know we don't play to like hundreds and hundreds of people.
Yeah.
When the people who are there and they know the words to your song and they shout them back at you, that is one of the coolest feelings ever. So we wrote that song. It then became the first song that we brought out on the first EP. And we came second in that Battle of the Bands.
That's amazing, man.
Yeah. And I mean, like the band that was going to win, I mean, the prize was to support Finding Albert in Dumfries at the Big Burn Supper.
Right.
Right. And we knew for a fact that a metal band was not going to win that.
Yeah.
I mean, like, the prize was to go and represent Stranraer in Dumfries at the Big Burn Supper, one of the biggest festivals ever.
Yeah.
Right? They weren't going to send a metal band.
Yeah.
So we knew we weren't going to win it, but we came second at our third ever gig, which was amazing. And Carrick, the drummer, he was actually going to leave the band after that gig.
Really?
Yeah, he was going to leave because, well, actually, I don't know why. I just don't think he wasn't feeling it because, like, me and Carrick didn't know each other. Like, me and the drummer didn't know each other like that well.
Yeah.
And so we never ever spoke at school or anything like that. And I think it was more the awkwardness between us.
Right.
Basically, he stayed, and I'm glad he stayed because, I mean, we had our 4th birthday a couple of weeks ago. So the band's been together for 4 years.
That's amazing, man.
It's been going well. I mean, like last year, we played the Garage in Glasgow, and we played the O2, and we played the O2 ABC in Glasgow. We did a whole tour last year in January. We did a tour of Scotland, which was awesome. Tiring but awesome.
Yeah.
And it's just been going well. We're in the middle of writing an album now. It's going okay. It's kind of hard because we started off as a Stranraer band.
Yeah.
And all the guys had moved away, and I'm here on my own.
It's tough, man, because obviously me and you chat quite a bit, and it's like you've got you and Stranraer, and the rest of your band is like in Edinburgh and Glasgow.
Yeah, I mean, we've got one in Stirling, 2 in Glasgow, 1 in Edinburgh, and 1 in Stranraer. It's really unconventional.
Yeah. It's not the best sort of setup, like, is it?
I mean, we try and get together as much as we can, but we all have commitments. We've all got work or student life to deal with.
That's it.
And in respect to all them guys, they've all got their own flats and stuff, so they've got enough problems to deal with at the moment, and they still keep the band on, which I love, because I can't imagine myself doing anything else. We've got to a point where it's become second nature to us, where I don't think any of us would ever leave.
Yeah.
But it's good, like.
It's one of them things, though, isn't it? It's like you've got your band up there, you're down here.
Yeah.
It's keeping a nice chemical balance.
Yeah.
So like you guys, the band's still whole.
Yeah.
But yet you also still have a social life with each other. You know what I mean? Because it's all right playing in a band, but you've got to have that chemistry there. You know what I mean? And I think that's what you guys are really good at as well. Is like, because obviously you don't spend every day and night with each other like a lot of bands do. You know what I mean? So when you guys do meet for a gig, he's absolutely slay it.
Well, I mean, that's the other thing about it. It's like I'm not a very like energetic person, you know. I used to play a lot of sports when I was younger, when I was fit and thin. Like yourself, me and you used to go and play football all the time, you know.
Oh, I know, man.
Um,
Those days, though, those days are done.
all the other guys, like, you know, we're all very. We keep ourselves to ourselves most of the time.
Oh yeah, definitely. We do keep ourselves to ourselves a lot of the time. Like,
But like when we get together, when these five guys get together, me, the guitarist, the drummer, and the vocalist, there's just you can feel it. It's like an energy that comes together, and when you
yeah.
get on that stage, it just everybody's persona just changes.
Mm.
And we'll talk about earlier on how people change. We all change when we go on that stage, but as soon as we come off, we're back to normal.
See, it's one of them things on it because a lot of people, when they talk about their music and whatever, they always say that they're a different person off stage than what they are on stage.
Oh, definitely.
You know what I mean? It's like it's one of those things. It's like when I'm like making a video, or if I'm like shooting a video with somebody else or anything like that. I'm a sort of different guy when I'm doing that to when I am like off it, because when you do the thing that you love the most, you get this overwhelming sense of energy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like you could be 5 minutes lazing on the couch feeling like shit, but as soon as you pick up that guitar, as soon as you go on that stage, as soon as I get the camera kit set up, it's like a whole new person sort of comes to life in it.
I think the other thing, and you'll know this as well, being from such a small-minded town, and like not even just that. I mean, the guys, like I said, they don't live in Stranraer anymore. People who listen to metal generally are really angry people, you know.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is, they do not let that anger out to others. They remain calm in a normal day situation.
Yeah.
A gig is where you see people break down, and you see them come out of their shell for that one night, where it can all just be released and everybody knows at the same time. You know,
Mm-hmm.
we're not angry like at each other, trying to hurt each other. It's just one of those things where it's like it's hard to explain. You just you let all your bottled up emotions out on the stage. I mean, like I said, I changed my persona completely. Like the glasses come off. Usually, I've got my hair cut into a mohawk, but we're on downtime now, so I've just let my hair grow. You know, so because I mean, we did have a big break, and our first gig of this year is going to be in like March 3rd or something.
Where's that?
That's in a place called Box in Glasgow.
The Box.
Yeah.
I used to. Funny story. There's a band from Glasgow called Fatherson. Now, my followers, I don't know if there's anybody on YouTube here, but like from Twitter, but my followers on Twitter, they know that I fucking love the band Fatherson. Anyway, funny story was I was at college, first kind of time I was at college in Dumfries. My mate Steve Crichton came in and he played this song for Fatherson, right? And I was like, fuck, I love that song. I absolutely love that song. So searched them up, got their album, whatever. Booked tickets for me and Sarah to go watch their gig. That was cool. And when you mentioned the Box, the funny thing is that I went, when I was at college, I took my camera, literally got my camera like this, and I'm walking down the street and I hear this voice. And I'm like, I know that guy. I know the sound of that song. I'm walking down Sucky Hall Street and I'm following this voice. And I shit you not, that band were playing the best gig they've ever done in the fucking Box.
Yeah.
The best gig. And the thing, have you been in the Box before?
No, well, that's the thing. Like, I mean, we got asked to play the gig, and I've never heard of the venue. The minute in Glasgow.
Well, you walk in the door, and then you've got your sort of stages here, right at the window. You've got the bar up there, but it's really kind of old school. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You call me a hipster faggot. You know what I mean? It's my kind of place to be. You've got like this really kind of old school, kind of vintage 1970s retro style. The red leather seats, the works, you know what I mean? And the sound from that place, mate, is unbelievable. It's fantastic. And the thing is, I was just walking down Sucky Hall Street and I heard this voice, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it just kind of clicked and I just followed it and followed it. I got a shoot. I started shooting them when I was in there. And that's when I started to get mates with kind of I wouldn't say mates, but that's when I started to get pally with Ross for the band. But You'll enjoy it, mate. The Box is a really nice venue.
Well, I am looking forward to it because it is another venue to put under our belt, you know.
Yeah. It's not quite as big. It's not quite as big as the O2, but
Yeah. I still, the amount of times that people will say that to me, like you played the O2, it'll never ever sink in. Like, yeah, I did. I played the O2. I mean, that's probably one of the biggest highlights of me doing this. You know, like it's one of those feelings. You know, when somebody says something, you're like, oh my god, I did that. You know,
I know you like played the O2.
played the O2.
So like a lot of the viewers for my channel, obviously I've lost quite a few, sorry guys, because I've not been doing it, but a lot of viewers from my channel are coming from the vape side of things.
Yeah.
So we'll touch on that really quickly because we're running short of time. YouTube's going to kick us off in the next 10 minutes. So like we both vape, yeah. I was very, very passionate about vaping. I wouldn't say I'm as passionate now.
Yeah.
That's the setup I use for anybody that's interested. It's the Hana DNA 40, and I've got the Nautilus Mini on top. I always used to cloud chase. Cloud chasing was my thing. Loved it to bits. And then sort of came down ill with the flu quite a while back. Another reason why I'll touch on that later on. But I came down with the flu, stopped vaping for a while, and I've been doing mouth to lung the whole time. Now the funny thing is, me and Ali did a video. When was this? 2 years ago?
It's about a year ago, maybe 2 years ago.
A year, 2 years ago. Anyway, we did this video like a long time ago, but it was like I was vaping on the Vamo V5. And, I was vaping on the Vamo V5, and I was using I think it was a Vivi Nova at the time.
Yeah.
And I was chucking clouds while Ali was smoking.
You were chucking clouds at 6 watts.
I was chucking clouds at 6 watts. But, let me just do this quickly here. Come out of there, and I'm gonna do is I'm gonna share the screen just so people can try and watch what this was. This was when me and Ali did this video. It was actually quite funny actually.
Well, considering we hadn't seen each other for about a year at that point.
I know it was quite surreal. Like,
I'll let you get back to the video.
Right.
Oh wow, look at me with a yellow t-shirt on. That's awesome.
Right, so this was me and Ali about a year ago.
What's going on YouTube? It's me again, Nathan Beardsman. Remember this guy? This is Ali. We're currently in a car.
You look so stupid, man.
This is what we do in our spare time. I'll give my help with absolutely fantastic. That bother there wants to get in. Disappeared.
So as you can tell, me and Ali were reprobates when we were younger.
I was still smoking at this point, wasn't I?
Yeah, you were smoking Golden Virginian or something.
Golden Virginia tobacco.
But like that's the thing though, it's like things have came on so far. Like that's what I touch on was the fact that you now vape.
Yeah, I mean,
and you're actually doing really well at it.
Yeah, well, I mean, like in August, well, that's a lie. In March of last year, it was my 21st birthday, and you had came to visit, and you'd got me. I think it was an ice stick 20 with a Kennedy.
Was that for your birthday last year?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you got me an iStick 20 with an Elegant 3 tank with some Nictel juice, which
Wow.
was I think you got me 18 milligram stuff, and it destroyed my throat. I think that
Blue
was
Crush.
one of the things that put me off. It was Blue Crush, and that was that was a good flavour. But the thing that put me off between March and August, I didn't use it because I used it a couple of times, but it was hurting my throat, so I got some different liquid. But then the tank broke on me and leaked off through the battery and stuff, and I had to send it back to you to get fixed. You know, it put me off of using it. But I was in Ayr, I was doing college, and I walked past a vape shop, a healthier smoker, I believe, and I went in and bought a clone of the iStick. It was a Curve.
Dude, I remember when you phoned me
Yeah.
and I was cleaning windows. I remember you phoning me and you're like, dude, is this a clone? Is this a clone of the iStick?
Aye. It was clearly a clone, but I got it and I used it for a while and it was good, and but then it started like being really strange. I didn't like the whole mouth to lung thing because
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I came to visit you and I tried one of your mods and
Yeah.
I went to do a mouth to lung and it destroyed me because it was like, oh fuck, I don't even remember what box it was, but you had it sitting at like 70 watts with red estate in it or something.
Nah. Wait a minute.
Yeah, that's the one.
One of these babies.
I think it was the one with the sticker on it.
This one.
Box mods, yeah, that one.
That there, mate, is a dual parallel box.
Yeah.
Bloody love this thing. But then I don't cloud chase anymore, man, so it's like pointless.
Well, I mean, you gave me that to try, and I tried to do a mouth to lung. It fucking killed me. You were like, no, you need to take it straight to the lung. So I did a big lung hit, and I loved it straight away. But it wasn't the cloud. Like, I mean, the clouds are good. I like clouds myself, but it wasn't that. It was the flavour that I enjoyed because it was much better than the shitty Curve that I had.
Yeah.
Or smoking. So like I went and then bought myself a Subbox Mini from Kangertech, which I still use.
I'll be honest, man, the Kangertech products are pretty decent.
Well, we'll touch upon one of the ones that wasn't so good in my opinion. But the thing about Kanger was it was annoying because it used to flood coils really bad and it used to leak like fuck. And it really bugged me. So what I did was I traded in my Subbox back to the shop that I bought. It was in vaporized, and I gave it back to them. And I wanted an e-box.
Did they do like a trade-in thing?
No, they didn't do it. It's because I still had my 3 month warranty on it.
Oh, right.
So at this point, an e-box had just come out.
Right.
But they want to sell it until the next day. They had just got the order in.
Right.
So I turned around and said to them, right, well, this is not working. He's like, well, we can give you something else. And I was like, right, I want an e-box. And he's like, no, we've got none in. And like, I could see the cupboard behind him. I was like, mate, there is a full fucking cupboard behind there. So he gave me an e-box, and the thing was amazing. Like, see for the tiny box that it was using the same coils that was in the sub tank.
Yeah.
The clouds and the flavour were phenomenal. Really bad points about it though, right? See, try to get into the battery compartment.
Mm-hmm.
Just didn't work. The threads didn't catch. It was horrible. It was fucking just annoying. And then the plastic on it, it wasn't glass, it was plastic. So it was staining really bad. You
don't need that, man.
And it was leaking out. Like, I mean, there was basically a hairline fracture crack down the glass, right? Which had been, I don't know how it got there because I took care of it. I didn't bash it off or anything, but it was leaking out of that. So I gave it back and then got my Subbox back. I'm a picky bastard, and then I found a fix for the coils to stop them leaking. Because the coils aren't finished in the factory, so I take the coil apart and wrap it around a bit more and then smash it back together. Don't smash it, like I tap it to kind of put it back, but it works. Like I've not had it leak or anything. But then once again, the Subbox wasn't doing it for me.
Yeah.
So then I ended up getting this, the X Cube Mini, with a crown on top from yourself.
Yeah.
because you weren't keen on it. So
Nah, I'd only had it for like a day. I received it on Hogmanay. That's when I went and picked it up. And I used it that day, and I used it on New Year's Day, and I used it on the day after that. But I just wasn't keen on the actual like squeezing it to make it work.
yeah, it's a strange concept, you know.
Oh, thank you. Got a cup of tea?
Yeah. I realize you're still going.
Yeah, cup of tea.
Okay.
It's a strange way of doing things because you're like, wait a minute, you're squeezing it.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at it here, just for people who are going to watch it, this whole bit here is the fire bar, and you
Yeah.
need to press it down like that to make it work, you know. And it depends what way you hold it. I mean, I do it like that most of the time.
Yeah.
It feels quite comfortable in the hand, you know. But when I'm driving, which I shouldn't be doing it when I'm driving anyway, but when I'm driving, I hold it like that upside down and press it in with my thumb because it gives me a better grip. The only problem is when you do it like that, the battery panel slides off.
I think that's where we're getting at now is vapors. I think we're getting to the point now where we're just seeing flaws.
Yeah,
Like I remember when I first started vaping and you had like your MVP and your iClear 30 and you couldn't find a flaw with that because it did wattage, did voltage, it had a good tank, flavour was nice, you know what I mean? Because there's so many now, you know what I mean?
yeah,
You can pick flaws. It's like this thing here. Now, see if you were to buy this thing brand new, yeah? This would set you back about 120 quid.
Yep.
Right? It's made of cheap plastic. To take it a bit, you press these two buttons here. That brings it off. And you've got your battery, which sits in here.
Yeah.
Yeah? Now, this is a bitch to come off. So you're finding yourself having to get your little knife, get your knife and stick it in there and then pry that off, right? Like so. But that's not good because that's plastic. You can see there. I don't know if it's going to focus. You can see there that there's a lip, and there should be another lip on that side, but there isn't. So you're having to stick that in there like so, and then get a bit of pressure.
Yep.
And then you've got these two bits here, which go into there,
Yep.
which make up the mod.
So do you not use the dual battery on that?
No,
Is it more
And I-
awkward?
the dual battery is awkward as. I'm pretty sure I put it back in its box. That's the dual battery compartment there for it.
Right.
And as you can see, it's about the same size as the mod with a single 18650 in there.
Yeah.
I don't use it 'cause it's just awkward. But like, this is what I don't get. There's the button, yeah? So I press that button and it fires.
Yeah.
Right? That's the panel underneath the button. I press that and it fires.
Right.
That's the panel.
Ah, right. Okay.
That's a 120 quid mod.
So when you're pressing the panel, it's also firing it.
Pressing the panel also firing. It's made of cheap plastic. What you're paying for with this device is the DNA chip. That's all you're buying.
Uh-huh.
Which to me is fucking daylight robbery. I mean, I got that in a trade. Because I wasn't. I mean, watch this. Watch how easy this comes apart. You see that? See how easy that comes away? I'll do it again because I was off the camera when I did it. Look at that.
Wow.
120 quid.
Yeah. But you didn't pay that for it.
120 quid.
But you didn't pay that for it.
I never paid that for it. But people have.
Yeah, people have. That's the bad thing about it. I mean, I haven't had any problems with this one. I am fearing the problem though that one day I will push this bar in and it will not come back out. You know, so I'm afraid of that. But I'm also afraid of this maybe popping off because it's quite wobbly.
It's like everything in life, though. I mean, it's not a vaping channel, right? Used to be, not anymore. But we're talking about vaping. It's like everything in life, yeah.
Yeah.
You take this little puppy here, right? This is a GoPro Hero 3, yeah. Being voted the best action cam ever made. Right?
Yep.
This thing will set you back now for about £200.
Yeah.
Plastic.
Yeah.
Plastic outbody, plastic lens cover. The whole thing's plastic.
You know, the other thing that bugs me about that, right? You're paying for like a £200 camera, right? And it doesn't even have a screen to show you what you videoed.
You've got to pick up your £600 phone to see what you're filming.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Another great example of things that you'll see in this channel later on. One of these puppies. This here is an Apple Watch sport band. Yeah?
Yep. And I know
Plastic. Plastic. 40 quid.
40 quid.
This is an Apple Watch band. Made of metal. 129 quid. Now obviously I never paid that price for those. That there is a 30 quid knockoff off eBay, and that there is a £2.99 knockoff off eBay. Because I'm not going to fall into that category where we spend all of our hard-earned cash on accessories and products to go back in. It's not even going back in the system. It's going into an offshore account in fucking Zimbabwe or somewhere. You know what I mean? It's like. So I've recently got back into photography. I'm trying to make a living from it, and I'm sat there and I'm like, I need a new lens. I need a new lens because I'm currently rocking the stock lens that comes with the camera. This here's an 18 to 55mm, bog standard, run-of-the-mill lens. Used it for years. Majority of the videos that I've filmed on this channel have been filmed with this lens. To get good portraiture and to get good, what we call in the industry, bokeh, that's where you see it in it. Front is focus, background's all blurred.
Yeah.
That's bokeh. That's where I use this puppy. This here's a 50mm, what was this one? This is a 0.45mm, 1.5 f-stop. Yeah?
Yeah.
Now, these not normally run about between 100 and 250 quid. eBay knockoff, fresh out of China. Right, hear me out. I've did a few things with this. Glass quality, fantastic. Build quality, cheap plastic. Listen to this.
No rattle. Oh, there's a little bit.
Right? Now, for somebody who's starting out, do you go, oh, I've got a nice Canon camera, so a nice £120 Canon lens to go with, or do you go, B, I'll buy the cheap one because it does the exact same bloody job?
Well, see, that's the thing. If it does the same job and it actually does the same job, then yes, you would buy the cheap one.
In fact, it actually does better because of the aperture range. You'll see some images where they have the bokeh in the background, the blurred up background, and it looks like little pentagons.
Yeah.
Right, that's because of the aperture closing. Yeah?
Yeah.
With that one, they've added more aperture blades in, so it's more of a circle. It's more symmetrical than the actual Canon camera, so it's actually a little bit better.
Yeah.
So it's like, why would you spend the extra money?
It's more of it's a label thing. It's like, see, it's guitars, right? For example, right? I've got guitars sitting back there. I'm not going to bother lifting them over because it's too much effort, right? But you've got a company called Ibanez, right?
Yeah.
And you've got a company called Gibson, which, and Fender, and like, you know, you've got all your big names. So you've got Gibson, Fender, Ibanez, right? Now they all produce really well, like really nice guitars, sound quality, and the price is a bit heavy on them, right? Yeah. So like my Gibson guitar over there, right, was between £900 and £1,000.
Right.
Right. You've got an Ibanez, which will maybe cost you about £500, and you've got Fender, which is a lot of money, right? I don't know about Fender myself because I don't have any, but basically they have sister companies, right? Where basically there's a guitar that's made by a company called Cort, C-O-R-T,
yeah,
and they basically produce duplicates of Ibanez guitars, right? Just with a different name on it.
Yeah.
Now the thing about it is that Cort and Ibanez are made in the same factory, with the exact same parts, made by the same machines, and made by the same people.
Mhm.
The thing that you're paying for is the name.
I see a lot of it is the name.
Yeah, well, I
A
mean,
lot
like
of it is the name.
that
this-
Gibson, like Epiphone, do the same thing.
But that's where I'm getting at here, right? That's my point. Is in today's age, we're so drawn in by names and brands that you're essentially they're just fucking the system.
Yeah, of course they are.
You know what I mean? It just doesn't make sense.
No,
I mean,
it's,
I'm not.
it's like
I'm
when
not.
you buy an iPhone, it's like, oh, I'm not showing everybody my iPhone. I'm showing everybody that I can afford an Apple product.
Mm.
You know?
I need to disagree with you there, Biggin.
Well, I mean, you would because you're such a big Apple advocate. You know, like
Right, here's what I'm going to get at, and I'm going to do a video on this next week. It's going to be me and my Apple. I've already got it scripted. Right, the reason why I'm so involved in the Apple ecosystem is for a number of things.
right?
When I first became, I hate using this term, but I'm going to use it. I use it very lightly. When I first became a creative, this machine is what gave me the guidance to be a creative.
Yeah,
It had the right software, had the right tools, easy to use, and commands were just fucking sublime. Yeah?
yeah,
Then I got one of these.
yeah,
And then what I realized then was when I take a picture on this, it goes to my computer.
yeah,
It goes to my iPad. And the way that it just draws you in, and I'll be honest with you, I'm a sucker. I'm a massive sucker because
Yeah.
now that I've got this and I've got my Mac, I then wanted a smartwatch. Didn't need a smartwatch. I wanted a smartwatch. I couldn't go for the 200 quid Motorola
yeah,
because it wouldn't work with this phone. It does now, but it wouldn't work when I first wanted it. So I
Yeah.
invested in an Apple Watch. And I'll be honest with you, the Apple Watch has got functions in there which I use every single day. Every day, without fail.
Yeah.
This phone barely leaves my pocket anymore because I've got this watch on my wrist. But is it worth 600 quid?
No, because it costs $15 to make.
Exactly. And I'm one of these guys that's so drawn into the Apple ecosystem that I will happily spend money. You know what I mean? I'll happily go to an Apple store and buy a case.
Yeah.
For
Speaking of
40
phones,
quid.
hold on to a second. Speaking of phones, my guitarist just messaged me saying that he's watching. So, hi Chris, fuck you. Sorry, what were you saying?
That's what I'm saying though. It's like we're so drawn in to this ecosystem. You know what I mean? That yeah, I want my phone to work with my iPad, I want my iPad to work with my Mac, I want my Mac to work with this, I want that to work and so on. And it makes life so much easier.
Aye.
But it's the cost. I don't think they can justify charging you bloody 800 quid for the baseline iPad Pro.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I mean,
I don't get it.
I think it's more of like, you know, the electronics in the thing, right? Like I said, on average, it costs between $15 to $30 to make an iPhone, right?
Yeah.
I think it's more of a software issue that Apple is like. Once again, you're paying for the name, right? Because it's Apple.
Yeah.
But the other thing about it is, like, I reckon a lot of money has to go into the people who need to program the software to make Apple iTunes run, to make the App Store run.
Absolutely, because I'll tell you something. I was talking to you last week about getting me help with finding me some developers and stuff.
Yeah.
And I've got an advert running at the moment for developers. I'm so handily at the moment doing an app for the iStore, right? The App Store has millions, billions even of apps, which all follow the same process. So there is manpower that goes into those apps. There's hours and days and weeks of shit that goes into those fucking apps. You know what I mean? It's not the phone. I don't think it's the phone you're paying for.
Yeah.
You're paying for the software. I
Yeah.
totally agree with you. I totally agree with you.
Well, I mean, I'm not savvy on like how much goes into software and how it works and all that stuff and programming, but I can imagine it will be a pain in the ass. But the thing about it is, if you know how to do that, right,
Yeah.
and you're good at it, it's going to be second nature to you. So when you make a phone, you're going to plug it in, and even then, right, you're going to only have to program one device, and then you just copy and paste it onto everything else.
Mm.
So there's a guy making a profit from hundreds and hundreds of devices that use his software, even though he made the software for one device.
Well, here's the thing though. It's like, wait a minute till I grab this. I read something. The last day. How much did Apple make last quarter? So there we go. Right. So see the last quarter of the year.
Yeah.
This is the last quarter, which ended in September 26th September last year, right? Apple made $51.5 billion net profit. Net profit. That's after they've paid their guys their wages. That's after they've paid the cleaners their wages. That's after they've paid the rent for that building.
Yeah. But I mean,
$51.5 billion.
I don't understand how they're making that much money, and like they're not putting the money towards furthering the product. It's like we're bringing out a new phone, right? We're bringing out a new phone. It's got a bigger screen. It's got a better camera in it. Blah de blah de blah. All this shit. Why don't you fix the problems first? Why don't you fix the dodgy charger cables, the dodgy charger ports? You know, why don't you stop the phone from freezing constantly? Why don't you stop the iPhone 6 from bending under pocket weight?
They have. With the iPhone 6s, they fixed it. In this part here is where the weak chassis was, where the volume rockers and the port was.
Yeah.
They've now reinforced that. That's now reinforced. And tell you the funny thing is, they reinforced it, and then they came out and they says, "We've made the phone heavier. Sorry, guys." I'm not being funny, right? I love Apple, but I love their products. I love what they do. I love everything about them. I'll be honest, live on air, I'm a massive fanboy. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
Love everything they do. But for God's sake, guys, we don't need a thin phone. I don't want a protruding camera.
Yeah.
Look at that. Protruding phone. I don't want a protruding camera. I don't want a slippy phone that's going to fall out my hand if I've not got a £40 case on it.
But that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. Like,
I want better battery life. It's like...
Well, that's the thing. My charger recently broke from an iPhone, right? It's the first charger I've ever broke from an iPhone.
Yeah.
I've had 2 iPhones in my lifetime. I had an iPhone 4 and I'm on my iPhone 5S now, right? Now, I'm not one of these people that's like, there's a new iPhone coming out, better go and get it. No, I use a phone until it physically cannot work anymore, right? Because the only thing that I really need my phone for is texting and phoning, what a phone is supposed to be used for. You know, I use my iPad for apps and all that shit, right? Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Apple do not sell their chargers separately at all, unless you go to an Apple store.
No, you can buy them online.
Can you buy them online? Right, well, I mustn't have been looking hard enough, because I had to actually go to my local O2 shop and buy a cheap one that works.
I'll tell you how much it is.
It doesn't work when I've got a case on it, which kind of sucks.
That kind of sucks, bro. Is it a lightning cable? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So a lightning cable is gonna set you back from Apple. Wait till I find it. Power. A lightning cable is gonna set you back, oh boy. 15 quid.
15 quid. Well, see, that's the thing. 15 quid for a charger is not that bad. But once again, fix your fucking charger.
Fix the charger. I mean, I totally get it. I totally get it. You know what I mean? Me and Sarah just went and got the new Apple TV the last day there. You know what I mean? And what we found with that is you're paying 130 quid for a set-top box, right?
Yeah.
And I've got a review coming later on for this. But you're paying 100 plus, 130 to 160 quid for this set-top box. You got a really smart controller, which is touchpad and all that, and all the shit under the sun. But they don't include a HDMI cable.
Right.
They don't include a HDMI cable. For the price that you're paying for this setup, you expect a bloody $2.99 HDMI cable.
Yeah.
You don't get one.
It's fucking ridiculous.
We had to add an extra $2.99 to our order to get a fucking HDMI cable.
And was that from Apple?
Yeah.
Like the cable came from Apple as well.
Yep. They could have bundled it.
Of course they could have.
They could have bundled it. And this is what I'm not getting at. This is what really annoys me with not just Apple, but with any technology firm. Your Sonys, your Samsungs, your LGs, all these guys. Yeah, they expect you to go out and spend $3,000 on a telly, but they won't give you the cables for it.
No.
It's like, I mean,
going back to the charger cables as well, though. Like, I mean, I understand that things break through use, right?
Yeah.
But that cable seems to break so easily. And I mean, you see it all over the internet. People like, "Oh, fix your fucking chip." Why don't they listen to folk? And it's like, "Oh, what's one of the products we're going to bring out? Oh, have they fixed the charger yet? Have they fixed this? Have they fixed that? No, we're bringing out a pen." What? You're bringing out a pen? What for? Oh, so you can draw on your iPad? I can do that with my fucking finger.
Just the thing, right? And I fell in love with Apple years ago when Steve Jobs was the sole leader of Apple.
Yeah.
And Steve Jobs, when he stood up, wait a fucking minute. You've got me started now, Ali boy. Got me started.
Well, we'll not be talking for much longer because I am tired.
I know we need to boost off shortly anyway. We need to boost in a minute. But I just want to show this quickly. Right, Steve Jobs was when he first brought out the iPhone. Right. So when Steve Jobs brought out the iPhone, we're getting late now, but when Steve Jobs brought out the iPhone, right, this was the video. This is what he said.
Who wants a stylus?
We don't want to carry around a mouse, right? So what are we going to do? Oh, a stylus, right? We're going to use a stylus. No. Who wants a stylus? You have to get them and put them away and you lose them. Yuck. Nobody wants a stylus. So let's not use a stylus. We're going to use the best pointing device in the world. We're going to use a pointing device that we're all born with. We're born with 10 of them. We're going to use our fingers. We're going to touch this with our fingers. And we have invented a new technology called multi-touch.
So there's your man, Steve Jobs, right? We're going to use our fingers.
Yeah.
No one know. No. What we're going to do is we're going to sell people an £800 iPad, and then we're going to charge them a further £100 for a stylus.
Yeah.
Oh, and then it's 13 inches, so they're not going to be able to hold it all the time. So we'll charge them a further £120 for a keyboard.
I know, it's ridiculous.
Anyway, on that note, guys, we've had quite a few viewers on. Thank you guys for viewing. We've had a good few comments as well, guys. So I'll reply back to them when we're finished. This was just a quick. I say quick. It was
Quick.
an hour and 3 minutes we've been on. It's not been really. It was going to be quick, but when me and Ali get talking, we ramble like shit.
Yeah, I mean, we started off talking about what Stranraer, ended up talking about Apple.
So like hopefully if we get good feedback on these guys and we get some really really good views and you guys like it, we'll come back. Are you happy to maybe make this a monthly thing or?
Yeah, man, I'd be more than happy to do this again with you.
So if the feedback's good and we're getting a good few views, we'll definitely be back and do this. This was a quick thing. I'll actually phoned Ali earlier, and then we thought, fuck it, let's just try it. Let's just go for it.
It was more for the fact that your YouTube had been active for personal reasons, and obviously, you had to have some breathing space. And I thought to myself, might as well just get it back on track, and I'll help you if need be. But I've had a good time. So
that's it, and hopefully, fingers crossed. Hopefully, Ali's going to be with us. Hopefully, Ali's going to be with us to the YouTube Creators Day in Edinburgh at the end of the month. Hopefully, he's got a lot on. I'm not putting pressure on you, Ali. he's got a lot on, but hopefully he can be with us at the YouTube Creators Day. And if any of you guys want to come and see us at the YouTube Creators Day, we'll be there. We're there to be educated, but you never know. You never know what happens. But yeah, so hopefully this thing works and we can do it more times. But I think we're going to wrap it up. Because
thanks for having me on, man.
Nah, no worries, bro. Until next time, let's just keep sexy.
See you guys.